I mean, it's been like 16 minutes. It's been a while. Yeah, some people were telling me that other streamers have been having the issue, which makes me feel like maybe it's not my fault. I don't know. I would like to fix it. I mean, I was checking the VOD back from the YouTube stream yesterday, and it wasn't like terrible. Like, it wasn't happening all the time. Yeah, it definitely wasn't great. All right, so when we left off, we had...
Holy shit, this is so hot.
We were using the Tonitrus. I don't remember how far. I think we killed BSB. Yeah, I think we killed BSB and then we stopped for the day. Hey, Patser Chess, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I mean, as far as I can tell, chat, the crashes for the Bloodborne Rando are completely fixed, which is fucking awesome. It's actually crazy. It's so nice. I mean, it didn't crash a single time yesterday. At least, I mean, not because of the Rando. It did crash when I watched the Amelia cutscene. That always happens. Or not always, but has nothing to do with the Rando. These snake guys are actually, like, kind of scary. He's jinxing it again? I don't think so. I mean, we played for 6 hours yesterday without a single crash. It's pretty nice.
My name is Toilet Bitch.
Man, you know, for the sake of the Rando, I wish Bloodborne had, like, rings or some other... Like, finding good talismans or, like, rings in Dark Souls 2 was, like, such a big part of the Rando, I felt like. I mean, it didn't... I mean, it wasn't the end of the world if you got good rings or not, to be fair, but... It was nice to just have some, like, extra things to, like, boost your power that you could find. Regardless, though, I'm still having fun with the Bloodborne Rando. Well, yeah, I mean, you have the Carol runes, it's just they're not really that useful. The thing is, the Randomizer gives you rune effects with, like, gem... Like, you can get runes that have gems on them, which... Or, like, sorry, you can get runes with gem effects. So you could get a rune, a Carol rune, with, you know, 20% plus attack up. The thing is, I don't know if they actually work properly. Because I mean, I haven't actually gotten a chance to test it because I've never found the Ruin Workshop tool a single time in all of the randos that we've done so far. So... I haven't even had a chance to test it. Dude, where's all the fucking enemies? What's going on? Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, we have 1,000,000 beast blood pellets on this run. Looks like the shark wants to come over here. Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, Carol runes just aren't that good for actually making your character stronger in any way. That shark will fuck you up, Kemi. I mean, I do have a lot of health right now, so... Dude, once you get into, like, the mid-game in this rando, it's horrible. You just fucking die so fast. Yeah, the DLC enemies, even though they're scaled down, they do way more damage than the base game enemies because it's just like the scaling is the same, but their overall damage output is so much higher that even when scaled down, you know, they still fuck you up. Pick up the item. Oh shit, wait, did I forget? Did I not pick up the item there? Wait, no, I did. Wait, by the well. Wait, no, you said by the well. Wait, what? Is there an item down there that I missed? I thought there's only 2 items there. We have 8 bold hunter's marks. We found so many on this run. This guy is so... You can't backstab these guys, right? Can you increase enemy count? No, you can't, like, double the enemies if that's what you're asking. I don't even know why I'm killing this guy. It's not worth my time. But I'm doing it. 5 bullets. Yeah, the hunter's axe is good. Why am I using Tonitrus? Because I want to. Crazy idea, I know. Bro. We only need 3 bloodstone shards. If scaling was on, I would be a little bit more cautious. Or... I guess you meant if scaling was off. Yeah, it would have actually fucked me up. I have a lot of health, though. Items on the drop-down beams. What? What drop-down? What are you even talking about, man? Really likes the spin attack. I don't even know when he cast that spell. 230,000 blood echoes. Epic.
Master Willem, I've come to bid you farewell.
Yeah, I mean, this randomizer is kind of...
You think now to betray me?
Randomizer is not, like, balanced for a...
But you will never listen.
It's not balanced that well, just in general. I mean, you can get over leveled really early, but at the same time, I mean, when you get into like Forbidden Woods and Yahar'gul, the game starts getting quite a bit more difficult. Or like it's way easier to die in Forbidden Woods because the damage actually starts getting pretty high. I don't know why. Well, that's fine. I should probably teleport back and level up. I think it's okay, though. We need one more Bloodstone Shard. At least lightning does so much damage to these brain suckers. Oh gosh. You good, dude? I mean, the rando that I want to commission would be like a new Bloodborne randomizer. You get a +7 weapon from killing 4 bosses. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really quick. Okay, well, we can get the Nitrous to +9 now. You get +9 before shadows. Yeah, if you go to Cainhurst and you... Well, I think you have to, like... Don't you have to, like, farm chunks or something to do that? Oh, yeah, you use the Tonsil Stone to go to Nightmare Frontier. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of chunks there. I normally don't bother going there because it's just like... I don't know, I mean... Having a +7 for... Okay, we should just use one of our Bolt Hunter's marks, I think. Or maybe... Well, we can actually just run back. Also, I forgot this item anyways. I mean, getting +9 before shadows isn't really a matter of being good. It's just... Well, I mean... You just need to have the knowledge. Like, know where to go and where to pick them up. Oh yeah, and you can get chunks in the DLC as well. Of course, yeah. No, I actually haven't been checking the Cathedral Ward elevator drop. I'll be honest, I kind of forgot about that. Like, I mean, I obviously know it's a thing. I'm not used to, like, looting everything in this game, so I don't remember all the item pickups super well. This randomizer is just, like, getting to Forbidden Woods or Yahar'gul and then just proceeding to fucking die. Am I gonna play Nioh 3? Oh my gosh. I might do Nioh 3 today. We'll see. I mean, I like Nioh. I don't know. I'm salty about what happened, but like, I still want to play the game. But I did want to test the Bloodborne rando. I wanted to test the Bloodborne Rando just to make sure that the crashes were fixed. In hopes of getting more upgrades or levels. Well, generally, by the time you make it to Forbidden Woods, from my experience, you will have, you'll have the upgrades to get like +7 or +8 a lot of the time. I mean, this is also considering you're actually killing enemies, though. If you just run from boss to boss, you're definitely not going to get enough. Like, you need to actually like kill enemies and loot most of the items if you want to get the upgrade materials to get +8 or +9 when you make it to Forbidden Woods. It's RNG though, so like if you're unlucky, you could definitely not have the upgrade materials. Okay, my bad. I was like, I almost just fucking died to this guy, and it's just because I wasn't even like fucking paying attention. I was just... like reading chat, just like spamming R1. Chat's fault. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. There is a saw spear.
Print money. I like money.
There's a saw spear. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I don't have enough Titanite shards or Titanite. Well, you know what I mean. I don't have enough fucking shards to upgrade the saw spear. Go Amygdalin arm. I would rather not. This helmet fucking sucks, man. Maybe I could buy Titanite with the Insight shop. Bloodstone shards, whatever. Oh no, I could buy chunks. The beak mask. Hell yeah. Well, do we go all in on the Tonight? I feel like this is a mistake, but honestly, you know what? Fuck it. I know that, I mean, the Tonitrus is good, but the thing is, on this run, the shop was selling beast blood pellets, so I have like, I have 100 beast blood pellets, which obviously would be really good with like the saw spear, but yeah. Whatever.
Very well.
This is okay. It has E scaling and skill. Yeah, it's not great. Oops. Sorry, I didn't want to talk to you. Got a gem. 0.7% attack up. 100 frenzy res. You get random gems from these, so it's worth popping. I've actually gotten some really fucking good gems from this.
Well, what? Very well.
I'm getting a lot of fucking health. The most important thing is not dying. Damage is looking pretty good. The Blood Gem Workshop tool would be kind of nice, though. That thing is such a nightmare to find. It's like, there's like 1,000 fucking items to loot, and only one of them is gonna be... Oh, God. Yeah, get fucked, idiot. I hate this fucking guy so much. Also, my game is like fucking lagging like crazy. I don't know how to fucking parry this guy. He's so fucking annoying. Holy shit, bro. I need to kill this guy because he's gonna fucking chase me around the entire map. Okay, I guess it's a... I remember I used to know how to fight this guy. It's maybe coming back to me. Oh. Rip bozo. I mean, any boss can appear out in the wild. I have it set to 2%. There's a 2% chance for an enemy to become a boss. It's like not that common, but common enough, I guess. Oh, God. Like if I jump down there, I'm probably gonna die. I don't know this guy's parry timings at all. Hello, Mr. Shark. Don't mind me. Gonna come here and loot. Look at that fucking damage. I don't remember any parry timing. Yeah, I don't really parry that much in this game, to be fair. Parrying is really strong. It's just, since I mainly speedrun this game, you never really... Well, I mean, there's a few cases where you want to use parries, but generally, it's not fast to parry an enemy and, like, riposte. It's better just to, like, continuously attack them. At least when you have a Beast Blood pellet up. But in the Rando... In the Rando, it's a bit of a different story. Oh, wow. I don't know. The Tonitrus might actually be kind of good. Just because of the fact that I can... What the hell? I can kill the... I can kill the brain suckers really easily. Like, the elemental damage kills certain enemy types really fast. Which is nice, at least. Need to repair it soon? No, it's at 88 durability. It does not go down as fast as you think. Like, I'll definitely need to repair it after probably, like, all of the Forbidden Woods here. Or maybe, like, after ROM, but... It's not a big deal having to go back and upgrade. Or repair, rather. Hello.
You know not the value you possess. But more's the pity. The hours of the night are many, and the beasts
Hey.
More than I can count.
Why?
A veritable hunt unending. Not even
Oh,
death
well, that's
offers
okay.
solace.
Now you know.
And the blood.
Oh shit.
The sister fister.
Hey, Conorexia, thank you for the 68 months. Man, these guys are fucking tanky. Yeah, whenever you use the... Whenever you use the weapon buff, it consumes durability on the Tonitrus. That is correct. Like we're at 81 durability. I mean, you definitely need to repair it like a good amount. We'll get enough materials if if we're looting stuff, I think we'll definitely get enough materials to upgrade another weapon if we want. Oh, it's the bugged guy. Oh god, is he doing the bugged attack? Hold on, I want to get him to do it. Oh, I hope this doesn't like crash my emulator or something. Oh god, I think he's doing it. Oh, honestly, it can handle it pretty okay. That attack on a standard PS4 drops your FPS to like fucking 2. Here, I can show you guys. Can see. I never actually even saw this enemy until... Also, he's got like a creepy smile on his face. Wait, do I have the monocular in this run? I know I found the monocular on a run. I guess it was a different run. Yeah, I have never seen this enemy. I guess it's like in... I think it's in some Chalice dungeons, but this isn't cut content or anything. Like he's in normal Chalices, but... Only certain ones, I guess. Hello, Brog Boy. It would be cool if we could make like a bolt-based build with the gems that we find. But that would require us to actually find the workshop tool, which is fucking impossible apparently. It is so hard to find it, like actually. You don't get more Chalice enemies in Rando. So the thing is, you can set a chance for it to be a Chalice enemy or a normal enemy. I have it set to 15% chance for it to be a Chalice enemy. I mean, I think Chalice enemies are more dangerous than base game. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say, because like... The um there's a few, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. There's a few sharks, or there's like sharks, and also there's a few different enemies. I can't speak this morning. A few different enemies in the normal base game that are really dangerous. Winter lanterns aren't actually in the randomizer though, which I think would probably be the most dangerous enemy. Is there a way to make this thing fall without actually falling into it? Anybody knows? What would you say are the most dangerous enemies from the base game? I would say sharks and brain suckers, I guess. Probably. Miko puppets are actually pretty deadly. Have I been to the lecture hall? Nope. I just die in Yahar'gul on repeat. Or Forbidden Woods. Okay, I thought this guy was dead. The ankle biter slugs that get me. Yeah, they did get me. You're not wrong. The lock shield is worth, it's worth a lot of money. I wonder what is my durability at now? 65? I'm not sure what durability it is where the weapon starts to do less damage. I think it's like 30 or... Yeah, I think winter lanterns would be the worst. Thank you. You would definitely need to prioritize frenzy resist. I mean, if you have 0 insight and you have like this beak mask, for example, has 40 frenzy resist, and well, I don't know what's the best frenzy resist for in general, but certain armor pieces have really good frenzy resist, so you would definitely want to just use whatever has the most frenzy if winter lanterns were actually in the rando. Crow beak and the ashen set. Okay. What's up, Higgy? I kind of want to do like a challenge run in Bloodborne, like oops all something. I don't know what would be the best choice, like all sharks or all winter lanterns. I don't know. All pigs. you knew what the monster would be, it would be too easy to counter. That's just completely false. Go play Elden Ring Randomizer and set it to all prime consort Radons. Fucking good luck, dude. Like, it doesn't, some enemies are so, and obviously that's Elden Ring and not Bloodborne, but like, some enemies or bosses are so, like, oppressive in the games that, like, it doesn't matter if you know that what enemy it is, like, they will just fucking shit on you if there's a bunch of them. I actually don't think brain suckers are that dangerous if it was all brain suckers. The problem about brain suckers is they can hit you, they can shoot their, like, grab, the, you know, the stun attack at you, right? And then you're just fucking stuck. And then, you know, a pig fucking decides to charge you down while you're stunned for 5 seconds.
Majestic.
Like, you get stunned by them, and then whatever other enemy is in the area just fucking shits on you. We might do Nioh 3 after this run dies or makes it to the end, I guess. I don't know. We're probably gonna fucking die. Not to be pessimistic or anything. It's just, I don't know, it's just so easy to die in this game. Some enemies are so scary. So, alright. I'm gonna pause the run, and we are gonna watch some Soul Salt for a little bit, because I want to eat my soup that I just got. Alright, enjoy Hob raging.
Fucking bastards! Die!
Bro, I can't believe this!
Ella had a 201 run. Fuck off, dude. Had a 201 run on your mom, dude.
Oh my... Bro! Oh! How dumb some of these things can be. Like, how did I... Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Bro, this is unbelievable! What is this? I've never seen him do that before! He does it 3 times in a row! What about you? What are you gonna do, huh? Bro! Oh my god. Oh my god! Fuck, man!
I'll still save time here. He's alive! How are you alive, you little whore? Ah! No! this skip. And fuck Distortion 2 for finding it. Little rat.
You want to die?
What?
No! You fucking cunts! Why?
Nice. Just awesome. Dude, what are these jumps, man? It's like my fucking legs don't work. Hey, please. Dude. What the fuck? Man. It's insane! It's insane! Please, Miyazaki, please! I beg of you! Please! Like, I cannot get a long jump. I mean, look at this. This is like, like, what is this? By the way, the reason that this is happening is because I am wearing the Jester's pants and I do not have the stats required to use them. So therefore my jumps are shit for some godforsaken reason. What are these jumps, man? Like, look at that jump. Bro, the door was in your face! Okay, dude, come on! What the fuck? What is that? How do you not make that jump?
Was it Boomer? Oh no. Yeah, voicemail is spam.
Why? This is game!
Look at this glitch! I'm so unlucky! It's insane! Like, it actually is insane, man. Oh, man! Like, fuck off! Seriously, dude. I would love to see anyone get that shit once. I watch people fucking speedrun this game all the time, and I've never once seen that fuck... Go on, fucking shoot an arrow at me. Oh my god, there is no way!
And say, oh my god, what? All you do is use glitches. It's so fucking easy. Why don't you actually fucking play the game the way it's supposed to be played? It's way fucking harder. Like, yeah, like you know. Like you fucking know. You fucking stupid idiot.
Ah! No! No, 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 no! No! Fuck this game!
Oh, no, 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 no! I can't fucking move anywhere! What the fuck?
Bruh, no. I ain't about that creeper shit, okay? Why stored wall? Fuck!
Jesus, Miyazaki, you're a fucking cunt. Miyazaki!
Bro, what? Why are you like this? Every time on a fucking run, he's like this. Man, why does he... Oh!
Ask Ella for tips. If I want a tip on how to be the biggest soy boy beta cuck pussy, I'll ask Ella, okay? But other than that, I'm gonna play some DS3. No!
No! Oh my god! Oh my god, you are trash, dude! Oh, I've done it again. I've fucking done it again, chat. I've fucking died to a hollow in the asylum. I've done it again. Fuck my life.
I didn't fucking level up.
Suck my dick. How about you do that? Bet you could suck my dick real nice.
No, you fucking shit game! Fuck me.
Excuse me, Sekiro! Stop! Hello! What is wrong with this game, dude? I don't fucking get it.
Like the light, please? No!
What?
That just happened. Dude, get out my... I can't believe!
Oh, I messed up. Bro. No, that did not happen! That did not just fucking happen, man! Washed up, actually washed up, man. Oh, I heckin' love fighting Gideon off near the all-knowing.
Be fucking shit! Fucking fed up of this shit! You can roll too far! You can roll too far! You can? Just kill him, please, demon. Kill him, dude. Oh my god, kill him. Not me! No! I'm so fucking tilted. Oh, my hands are so fucking cold. This is insane, man. For fuck's sake. Let him stop yelling. Shut the fuck up, Zero.
Alright! was a fucking home run right there. Bro! No, come on!
No! As if he fucking hits me, dude!
Dave, would you be mad at me? If I just like, I'm not playing Elden Ring, guys. I'm on the grind. Like, just say I was really close to record. I'm like a second away from... No! What? So unlucky!
First fucking piece of shit game ever made by anyone. I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe that's even a thing. Why do I suck so much fucking dick?
Alright, I'm back, chat. What's up, chemist? How's it going, man? The soup was good. What's up, Zashu? I don't know how to speedrun Minecraft, dude. Not the one you should be asking. Bro, where are these fucking enemies coming from? Is this the run? Probably not. Oh yeah. Alright, let me bring the overlay back up. Where is the blood gem tool? Yeah, we might do Nioh 3 later today. We'll see. No, you don't have to check chalices. Oh god. That could have been bad. That is a Ludwig.
Go forth. Touch the demon inside me.
Okay. Hello. Hey, Shy Guy, thank you for the 55 months.
Majestic.
There's so many items to loot in the fucking woods, man.
Oh,
Very good. Very good indeed.
I don't really know if there's any, like... I wonder what the best way to, like, efficiently loot everything here is. Really don't know. Oh, this... Oh, no, no, no. Oh. 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 Oh! Oh my god! Okay. How's it possible I survived the pig charge? Well, it didn't multi-hit me there. If it did multi-hit me, I would have definitely been dead. Thank you for the 40 months, Lantro. Shy Guy, thank you for the 55 months. Mono, thank you for the 50 months. What the hell? Any other item over here? One behind the tree. I can't remember, is there an item up by this lift? Doesn't seem like it. I think there's one more item over here. Oh, there normally is. My weapon durability gonna last here? I think so. What's up, Patoot? Oh my god, Cleric Beast. He's actually fucking tanky as shit, what the hell? I'm kind of tempted to do like legit shadows randomized, but man. It's so brutal. Oh my. Damn, that fucking hurts. I guess I should use a pellet. Still extra damage even if it's not much. That's my bad. Probably stop face tanking. Don't worry, the difficult fight is coming up next. Odin Writhe. What does that do? Oh. Nothing. Is there an option to have 2 bosses? So it's either just, you can make it just 1 boss or you can make it 3 bosses, but I don't know. So, some boss combinations are legit just like, they're unbeatable. Especially because the scaling, like the scaling on the shadows is kind of absurd. Like it's just, yeah, there's some combos that are actually just like genuinely unbeatable. You just get permanently stun locked to death. I think the worst one, because I did this rando like on my PS4 years ago, right? And I think the worst combo that I ever had was, it was like amygdala. I can't remember if it's possible to get like later phase amygdala, but it was amygdala, like Ludwig phase 2. And Orphan or something. I don't know, man. It was just, it was so fucking bullshit. We have some stuff we could sell, actually. No, it was unbeatable. Like you genuinely just get like perma-stunned to death without really being able to do anything. Should probably just sell Maria's garb. It's worth 42,000 after all.
Welcome. Very well.
Give me all the HP. Kind of like this drip. His clothes look good. Like, look at the scale, like, the enemies start getting so tanky. You really start feeling the lack of the Blood Gem Workshop tool. Like, Blood Gems give you so much damage in this game. I don't think we found, like, any good gems at all, though. Well, we have a 13, but then it has fire attack, so it's useless. We have, oh, a bolt attack up. I mean, I guess that it's better than nothing. Could work for the Tonitrus, actually. No, this one's 10%. I can't remember. Do we have a no, we don't even have a triangle socket on our weapon, though. So, rip that. We have a good one for a gun. Another bolt gem. Yeah, we just have not, I don't know. Sometimes you just don't find very good gems. I do like that the gems I like the randomized gems. It is nice, not knowing what type of gems you're gonna get. Oh shit. The fire attack up effect doesn't remove the physical damage on the Tonitrus. What? Because it's split? Yeah, I guess that... I don't really know how, like, elemental stuff works, but that makes sense. That's good. Oh, we got Alfred. What's up, homie? An empty chest. My favorite. Is this one gonna be empty too? Will Alfred follow me down into the boss room? Last time this guy didn't drop anything, but maybe he'll drop something this time. Maybe it was just a bug. Oh, he did actually drop something this time. Alright, here we go. Alright, we are going to... So the thing is, you can... I mean, this randomizer, again, is kind of scuffed. The enemies don't actually... it would be nice if the enemies actually, like, fell in or, like, spawned in, but I imagine that's a lot harder to do. But, you can just kill all the enemies before the fight starts, but that's no fun. Alright, here we go. So the thing is, a lot of the time, a good amount of the enemies don't actually aggro. It's kind of like... Yo, that guy's actually helping me. I don't know. It's pretty buggy, as you can see. So, even though the setting is on, it's like... It's not that bad. Okay. Bro, how did he shoot that thing so fast the second time, bro? What? I thought you have to reload. Yeah, I mean, as you can tell, most of the enemies don't really aggro. Like, I don't know. It's pretty buggy. I mean, if they all aggroed, well, I think I would lose. Did we get a stagger? Oh, jeez. I'm not very good at fighting this guy, if that wasn't obvious. I don't know, he's so fucking... Okay. Dude, stop jumping away. You just have to take it like one attack at a time, from what I remember. Like you can't be greedy on this guy. I'm not sure if his limb stagger mechanics work either. He just loves to jump back. Can I? Oh, you actually can strafe that. Okay. Today I learned. I don't really do Chalice dungeon bosses that much. I mean, I've done them in all achievements. I guess it's like a range thing. Like if you don't get close enough to them, they just don't aggro or something. Oh, he can double jump? Have I done a Chalice only randomizer? I don't really know what does that mean? Oh no. Spawns you in a Chalice dungeon and you just go through them all. I don't... Dude, how the fuck do you dodge this attack? What even is that? Okay, I need to get my shit together. I'm getting fucked! So bad at this fight. Doesn't help, it's so... Dude, it's so hard to... Oh my god! Fucking through the legs. Just die already. Yep, the Iron Golem Classic. The nice thing about having this setting on is, I think you get the souls from all the enemies that die. I could be wrong, though, because I didn't really get that much there. It was only 24,000. Could, actually, I don't know. Oh, wait, you know what? No, I don't actually think you get the souls of the enemies that died, but, I think the last time we had Moon Presence, which is worth like 230,000. That's why I got so many. We might do Nioh 3 later today. I just wanted to continue this randomizer that we were on. I have it downloaded. I think my game crashed. I think it might have to do with the cutscene though. Oh. This is new. Yeah, let me turn off 60 FPS. Maybe I guess this is you know, it's weird though because I've gotten past ROM multiple times and I never had this happen, but it's weird how sometimes it doesn't crash. God, also 30 FPS feels so bad. Like, disgusting. I mean, what you can get used to 30 FPS, but when you go from 60 to 30 FPS, like, it is such a stark difference. Feels so bad. Hey, Kamalesh. being bullied by a scorpion. You can actually play Bloodborne at higher than 60 FPS, but probably not a good idea with the randomizer.
Holy shit,
also,
this
it's
is so hot.
It feels really weird when you play at higher than 60 FPS in this game. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, like, it doesn't feel right or something. Yeah, I don't really like lossless. Or, well, actually, wait. I can't remember what it's called, but I don't really like having input delay. I know it's pretty minor, but
Welcome. What? Very well.
I'm gonna go check. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. I don't know if I looted this item before. Dude, imagine the Blood Gem Workshop tool was here the entire time. That would be so funny. That'd have been what killed you. These enemies are super weak, so I'm not too worried about it. Hey, Vexrex, thank you for the 13 months. Come on, baby. Blood Gem tool. Alright. I'm getting like fireballed through the floor. Oh god. Holy shit, my FPS was like fucking falling apart there. What the Something is happening down there that is tanking my FPS right now. I don't think there's an item over there. There is an item here. You know what? I don't really want to run through the shark room again. This place runs poorly for you for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I wonder why it runs so poorly. Maybe because it's loading... Maybe because it's loading, like, the transitions to 2 areas at once when you're here. Oh, great. Because you, like, you could go... From here, you could go to the cathedral... Or the upper cathedral ward, or you could go alternatively down to like the healing church workshop or whatever. Bro, what the? I'm feeling slightly concerned about this right now, but it should be fine. Really, I can survive this. Yeah, for sure. Alright, so... You said I missed an item down here? By the well? Oh, down there. Let's see. Why do you sit down? I don't know. Is there normally like a villager there that's sitting down or something? The brain sucker normally? Oh, okay. The fair amount of items that we skipped here, because I just... Oh, this could be dangerous. Am I getting grabbed? Oh, oh. I think I'm gonna kill this thing. Oh, we actually do so much damage with the lightning. I don't know, man. Maybe like elemental damage is kinda... Elemental damage might be kinda good for the Rando. They do no damage. Yeah, it's because we have scaling on in the randomizer, and I'm in a late game, or in an early game area with like late game-ish stats. Whoa! He's killing my FPS with the scream. The fact that the 800 HP at this point in the game is like, it's actually quite tanky. It's kind of nice just being OP. Just face tank to my heart's desire. God, I'm getting so much shitty gems, dude. Oh, what is that? Pulsing damp blood gem. Okay, never mind. There's like 2 or 3 items left to grab here. Saw Hunter badge. Okay, let's not face tank too hard. Bro, there's so many enemies. What the fuck? Bro, why is he so solid? Oh, never mind, he's dead. Could have gone poorly. I mean, these enemies are so scaled down, I wasn't really too worried about it. They would need to hit me like 15 times in a row to kill me. Oh, this fucking workshop tool is... It's like finding a needle in a haystack. I don't even know what other items we have left to loot. I think... Actually, there's a few items we missed in Central Yarnum. I'm pretty sure I found the Hunter's Torch. Key items should not be randomized. Why not? I mean, at the end of the day, randomizers are made to be super customizable, so... If there is a like... When the randomizer with key item rando comes out, you can still choose to not do that. Key items aren't randomized, it's still going to be the same thing. Is it, though? Because once you find the key workshop, once you find the blood gem workshop tool, and once your weapon is maxed, you have no incentive to loot anything anymore. You would just skip every other piece of loot. Yeah, I don't... Dude, Tonitrus is like... So many of the really annoying enemies that are hard to kill. Obviously, you can luck out. Yeah, but that's... I mean, that's the point of the key item randomizers, so... Once you hit the 30% point in the run, you don't just... I mean, whatever. I don't know. You obviously don't think key item rando's good, and that's fine. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. You're not the guy who said that? Oh, sorry. My bad. Guys, it's gonna take some time for... How the heck? It's gonna take some time before the new Bloodborne rando is a thing. I mean, it's gonna be like a new randomizer from scratch, so it's a lot of work. We are finding so many chunks. Gem name. % chance of spawning an enemy with no scaling. That could be interesting. Hope they find a way to randomize the woods password. Yeah, that would be cool. It's just the thing is, like, there isn't that many branching paths in Bloodborne. I mean, there is some degree of, like, obviously you could make it so like once you kill BSB or Cleric Beast and you get access to once you get access to Cathedral Ward, or like the outside of Cathedral Ward, then you have the option of going to Witches, and potentially, I guess, if the Cainhurst summons was randomized, you could get the Cainhurst summons without going to Forbidden Woods, and therefore that would allow you to go to, you know, Forsaken Castle Cainhurst. But regardless, you're still gonna have to go into the woods at some point. I guess you could also technically find the Tonsil Stone, which would then force you to go to Nightmare Frontier. Yeah, Dasav. There's a lot. I know that there's a lot of key items. Like, I was actually talking about this on my stream before, and I think, because I mean, the 3 umbilical cords are also key items, right? At least if you want to do all bosses. Yeah, I think there's like 11 or 12 different key items. It's just there's not that many different, you know, like, if you need a key to progress, like, for example, Gascoigne's key, right? There's not really anywhere you can go unless you kill Gascoigne. Unless the randomizer had logic for needing to do the, like, you could make the wolf. I don't know if you know, like, skips in Bloodborne at all, Dasav, but the wolf at the start of the game can let you get into Forbidden Woods early. So, like, technically you could make the randomizer, you could have, like, an option for logic where, you know, the cookie skip, okay. So, I mean, you could potentially have an option to add Forbidden Woods, like, cookie skip logic, where maybe you would have to find Gascoigne's key, you would have to find Gascoigne's key in Forbidden Woods. The DS1 Rando had speedrun skips as an option? I don't know. I'm not sure. Hollow Knight has, like, insane randomizer speedrun skip logic. The Hollow Knight rando, dude, when I turned that shit on, there was like 7 different options for a variety of different skips and like strats. And I had no idea what any of them meant. Act 1 Fade Down Cloak, yeah. My weapon's +9. What's up, Jen?
Welcome.
Ocarina of Time randos have pages of logic options for skips. Oh yeah, I've never actually done a rando for those games, but I can imagine.
Farewell.
What's up, Aaron?
Welcome. Very well.
I mean, what would be extremely fucked up is if you made it so, like, if you made it so you had to go into the Chalice dungeons to find items. That would be like, I don't know, that would be really fucked up, to be honest. I don't know, that I think that would be extremely complicated to like to set up from like a logic standpoint. Hey Aaron, thank you for the 7 months, man. fucked up and unfun. Well, so like the thing is though, I mean, if you did make it, this is all just hypothetical, by the way, but like if you did make it so you had to go into chalices to find key items, you wouldn't necessarily need to make it so you need to go into all of the chalice dungeons, right? Like you could find, let's say you could find, you know, I don't know. It would be really complicated from a technical standpoint, but you know, let's say you find like the item, no sane programmer would touch that, yeah. But if you found like a specific chalice, then you would have to go into that chalice potentially. Like, you know, if you loot everything and then you couldn't find the key item, potentially you could go into, like, you'd have to go into the chalice, but I don't know. People don't really like chalices. It would be cool, but yeah. It would be an insane amount of work, I reckon. It ain't happening, bro. Am I not allowed to talk about it? Because it's just fun. It's just fun to think, like, just food for thought, man, alright? I don't hate chalices necessarily. Alright, this is where my last run died. We're gonna take it slow. You're scared of this place? Me too. The enemies are so passive. Fuck it, I'm just gonna run through. No, you don't instantly die if the amygdalas grab you, but it does a lot of your health. Am I gonna play Nioh 3? Yeah, I'll probably play some Nioh 3 today. Blush to Nioh 3. Oh, you can actually open this door. Huh. Too bitter. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like being petty, to be honest. Like, I still want to play the game. Petty about what? Well, I don't know if I should, whatever. I've already talked about it. I guess I could say it again. Basically, chat, I got flown out to play Nioh 3 like 2 or 3 months ago. I had no idea. I thought I was just going there to play the game and just like meet the staff, but basically they expected me to make a YouTube video, and I told them I would, and then I just wasn't really happy with the gameplay footage that I recorded while I was there, so I didn't end up making the YouTube video. And now, I mean, they won't even give me like a launch key. They like blacklisted me from getting early access for the game, so I was a little salty about that. But yeah, that's all there is to it. I was not paid to go out there or anything. Yeah. No, I had no contract stated. Like, I had no idea that I even needed to make a YouTube video. But, like, when I got there, it basically seemed like it was expected of me, so I didn't want to make it awkward and tell them no, because then I just didn't want the vibes to be, like, bad. I mean, they paid for my plane ride, but I was not, like, compensated in any way, like, monetarily. Like, I mean, they paid for my flight, my hotel, but... I mean, I should have just told them that I didn't really want to make a YouTube video from the get-go. I was thinking about making it, but I don't know, man. I only got to play the game for like 2 hours, and those 2 hours were basically me just trying to remember like the fucking controls for the game. I don't know, man. I wasn't really happy with the footage that I got, and that's not their fault. I just didn't really feel like I had enough time to actually like get comfortable with the game. Yeah, Jackal. I mean, that's true, but I did not like they did not tell me that I needed to make a YouTube video in the first place. Like, I had no idea. I mean, I guess I should have assumed that was the case, but... I was just like, oh, it'll be cool, I get to play Nioh 3 early, I get to meet the staff. I never thought, and I said this before the other day, but I never thought that, like, in a million years that by going to play a game early and, like, meet the staff, I would end up getting, like, removed from getting early access. It's just... No, it's not in Japan. It was like I went to like the US, like, studio. Bro, why is this guy just like clapping? With all of that being said, though, I mean, I still want to play Nioh 3. We might play a little bit today. Did they confirm that was why? I mean, they're never gonna tell me that's why, but I mean, that's definitely why. Why would any company give you free privileged stuff? I mean, like, I got flown out to play Elden Ring DLC early, and I was not expected to make a YouTube video or anything like that. Like, it was just like I just got to play the game, and that was it. No, I mean, it's partially my fault. Like, yeah, I can't necessarily blame them. Like, again, it's not that serious. I'm just, people keep asking me why I'm, like, not playing Nioh 3, and I mean, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Chest item? Wait, what item did I miss? Well, then, like, another thing is, like, I have a contact at Koei Tecmo, and I asked him, I was like, yo, like, people are playing early access, like, why can't I, like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was basically like, you know, I see a bunch of people are playing early access, like, if I'm not allowed to have early access, that's fine, just tell me. And then he's like, I don't know, they told me that the early access was only what was in the demo. So I was like, okay. I don't know, man. It's stupid. Well, I mean, yeah, by not doing the video, I apparently did them really wrong. Like, I just didn't really think it was that big of a deal, especially because I wasn't contracted to make a video. I wasn't paid to make a video or anything. Not that I need to be paid to make a video, but like, I don't know. Dude, how many, there's like 1 million fucking enemies here. Like, where are these fucking enemies coming from? They got resummoned? Oh. Alright, well, time to go run and die. Fuck it. I mean, the thing is, I took 3 days off streaming to go to this, like, event as well. It's not like yeah, it was like a free flight and a free hotel room, but, like, I mean, I could have been streaming instead. I don't know. Anyways, let's drop the whole Nioh 3 thing. We might play some later today. I mean, it's not like I flew out to Japan. I literally just said that I was going to stop talking about it, but it was like, you know, it wasn't like an international flight. It was just a domestic flight. Anyways, alright. There's no GAT guy here this time. Well, there's a GAT guy, but slow GAT guy. Okay. Kinda sus. Well, a lot of the time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stop talking about it, and then somebody says something in chat that makes me want to talk about it again, so. Ooh, what is that? .5% fire. Please let it go. People keep asking, so I obliged and I answered, okay? It's that simple. Like, I want to parry him. Yeah, Voodoo, that is, I mean, that is the case. 100%. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm 100% partially at fault at what happened. My game crashed. I don't know. That's weird that I don't know if that's a rando crash. I mean, maybe it was. But there's an item after the Parl gate. Yeah, but that's just in Old Yarnum. That's I don't think that's the YouTube stream is laggy. Yeah, I don't know what's I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why YouTube's been so scuffed lately. Oh yeah, this is a PB bosses wise. Yeah, Dasav, I had a feeling it probably wasn't rando related. I feel like I can kind of tell whether it's like an emulator crash or a rando crash. Not that I actually know, but... Apparently there was like a new Shad version that was released recently. I saw. Is there anything over here? Oh wait, this guy's a friend. We have a friend. Is something gonna pop out of the carriage, I wonder? He's in there. He can't come out though. Oh man, are we ever gonna get this frickin' workshop tool, dude? A cool looking gem. It's shit. It's cool though. You're too OP as it is. Okay, man. Oh no. Help me, Hunter. Oh. Dude, this guy is so fucking tanky. You broke my backstab, bruh. He's doing good. Is there even an item here? There is. Come on, Blood Gem tool. Where is my tool? Is there an item up here? No, not again, bro. Fucking sharks. This is not good. This is not good. Bummer. That handrail saved man's run. Yeah. I'm gonna go, man. And the tool appear in the shop. That's the thing. I don't know. I assume the tool can only be like item pickups off the ground. But I mean, I don't know. I cheat it? Well, that's no fun. Thing is nowhere to be found. Actually, wait, there's a spot with a bunch of items that I'm like trying to... I can't fucking remember where it is. There's a spot we haven't checked that has a ton of items on it. Oh my god. I'm trying to think where is the fucking place that I'm thinking of? Okay, wait, hold on. I need to... What the fuck am I thinking of?
Oh, majestic.
I don't know. I gotta go to the bathroom. God, I can't fucking remember. I don't know, there was like a spot I wanted to check with a bunch of items, but I'm like drawing a blank as to where it is. Alright, I figured it out. We need to go to the path to the path back to Central Yarnum through the Forbidden Woods and like the big lake. There's like a million fucking items there. Bro, what the fuck is that? Wonderborn's inside of the boss? I don't like this. Oh my. Bro, what the fuck is going on? Holy shit. Oh my god, I don't do fucking anything. This shit won't one-shot me, right? I'm just getting a bit better. Come on, AI loop strat. Oh. Looks like it's working. Oh, this might not work. This is the strat, chat. This is what I do for Chalice Amygdala. Bro, did he not even drop blood echoes? The hell? My durability is already kind of cooked. Does every boss in this arena get the one reborn effect? I guess so, yeah. Alright, we're gonna go to the Forbidden Woods. And go to the lake. Coming through. I'm gonna let some of these guys die. Any plans of doing DS1 Rando? DS1 Rando seems like it would be fun. Come on, Blood Gem 2. Bro, where is this thing? Holy shit. Hey, my winter walk, thank you for the 5 months. I mean, I don't know. I thought that there was bias for the Blood Gem Workshop tool, but I'm starting to think that I might be wrong. Because all the times that I found the Blood Gem Workshop tool was early, but most of the time I don't make it to the late game. So I don't know.
Oh, very good. Very good indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there are some like obscure early game items that I don't know about. Possible. Oh. I actually think that was a rando crash. Alright, well, hold on. I am going to, well, hold on. I'm gonna back up my save data. I'll back up the save data just in case. I'm gonna see if I can... I wonder if it'll continuously crash. If it continuously crashes, then that's not good, but I have a feeling whatever crash that was just a one-time thing. Yeah. I don't really mind if the rando crashes sometimes still, like, as long as it's not happening all the time. I mean, it seems like as long as it's not continuously crashing, we're in good shape.
God, I'm nauseous. Have you felt this? It's progressing. I knew it. Oh, God. Don't use it's rather rapturous.
What? Why can't I kill her?
I knew it. Oh, God, it feels awful. God, it's
All right. Yeah, I guess that girl got, well, That girl doesn't normally... Or actually, wait. No, wait. I can't... I actually can't do moon presence now because of that glitch. Because the... Well, no. No, I can, because there's 4 umbilical cords, not 3. But wait, have I missed the opportunity for Ariana? I can't remember if you can soft lock yourself out of Ariana or not. If you kill Rom, you're locked out. Okay, yeah. So I'm actually fucked then. No, the chords aren't randomized. Yeah, I guess we found our first soft lock in the rando. I wonder if it's possible that the Blood Gem Workshop tool just doesn't spawn sometimes as well. My memory allowance is set to 16,000 megabytes. It's just the crash. It just crashes sometimes, man. It's just. I mean, I played for 6 hours yesterday and it didn't crash a single time though. Like the crashes are more or less fixed at this point, and even if you do crash, you can still make it past the crash point, which is the most important thing, honestly. Wait, we killed witches, right? What the hell is the witch? I thought it's called like Witch's Abode or something. Did we not kill witches in this run? Oh, actually, no. I think that was the other run. I mean, we could probably cheat in like an extra umbilical cord or something, but... Yeah, the thing is, the modder in chat named Asav made a fix for the randomizer, which has prevented most of the crashes that previously occurred. Oh, there's so many items here too. Since Wallace is a friendly summon, could you lure in an enemy to kill him? I don't think the enemies will chase you up to the top there, Dasav, to be honest. I think they have like leash range. I mean, he didn't do anything to the mod. Well, we have enough materials to upgrade another weapon to +9 now. Are there any other items here to pick up? I don't know. I think that might be everything. Well, yeah, the people wanted Bloodborne on PC, and, you know, when there's a will, there's a way. Hey, Kensha, thank you for the 41 months. Drum, thank you for the 2 months. Nobody asked for Rando. I mean, I don't know if that, I think that statement is false. I mean, people like randomizers in all the Souls games. This Bloodborne rando is fun, but I wish that there was a bit more, like, key items in terms of... Like, I think, you know, Dark Souls 2 and, like, Dark Souls 1 is better for rando compared to this game. That being said, this game is still fun to play rando. It's just DS1 has a lot more, like, item checks and... Like, most of the items that you loot in Bloodborne aren't really that important for your build. It'd be cool if FromSoft made an actual randomizer, like an official one. But the thing is, if FromSoft made an official randomizer, it'd probably be ass. If Night Rain is any indication to go off of. Jesus. You know, it's funny. Lords of the Fallen made an official randomizer, but they didn't even randomize their bosses. It was like so low effort. Or the shops. I didn't know that, but yeah. I don't like this. I really don't like this. Oh god, oh god. Oh, that was kind of a scary situation. The YouTube stream is laggy and skipping a lot. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can try to restart the YouTube stream, but I really don't know what else to do. I don't know why this has been happening. Excited for Mortal Shell 2. I'm cautiously optimistic about Mortal Shell 2. I mean, the game looks... The trailer looked cool, but it was also... We didn't really see gameplay. Like, the trailer that we saw for Mortal Shell 2 was purely cinematic. The last Mortal Shell playthrough, oh god. Don't remind me. Dude, we are never going to find this frickin' workshop tool. What the fuck? Where is this thing? Why is there another parl? Be the workshop tool. Bro. The fuck, man? Carl's stuck on a tree. Okay. There's an item over here. I'm just kind of scared to loot it. Oh, there's actually 2 items. Because this is right on the ledge, and if an enemy hits me, I'm gonna die. Fucking pebble.
Stranger, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Lords of the Fallen 2. Not, like, as excited as Resident Evil 9 or, like, a new Souls FromSoft game, but still a new Souls-like to potentially play. Yeah, I went to the workshop. I don't know, man. We've looted almost everything in the early game. Like, we've been looting a lot of stuff. Oh. It's Gascoigne. The witch's AI is kind of bugged. I don't... Kind of OP for this part right now. Gascoigne. Add Gascoigne. Right. There's nothing in this arena? No, I don't. Yeah, again, this rando's kind of... It's got some issues. I mean, I assume making... I don't know, making some of these things actually function properly in a different arena might be quite difficult, I don't know. Hey, spiritual black guy, thank you for the 10 bucks. Time to check all of Cainhurst. It's the guy's name, chat. Why are you being weird? Have you seen Leppa's stream right now? What is Leppa doing? I saw he was doing like some racing thing, or what the fuck was he doing? He was like driving a car? City car driving. Is Leppa on like front page or something? Why has he got so many viewers?
Goddamn.
What the fuck? Am I into cars? No, not really. Saying he's not good enough. Well, Lepa normally doesn't get 7K viewers. I mean, good for him if that's legit. I just surprised. Yes, I am super jelly. You caught me. You know, it's funny. Lepa used to stream in English, and then I don't know. I've like seen him go back and forth between streaming English and Finnish like multiple times. Oh no. You think it's better to stream in one language? I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I feel like if you're streaming in...
Toilet bitch!
I may be completely wrong about this, but I feel like if you stream in non-English language, you'll probably have an easier time growing. Because, like, the amount of, like, English streamers there are to... like other languages is like a crazy. I feel like 90% of Twitch is like English speaking. No, maybe I'm wrong about that though. I mean, if you're on the top of Twitch and you're an English streamer, then yes, like 100% you're gonna grow a lot, because most of the I think a majority of the audience is probably English speaking as well. But in terms of like being I don't know. I'm sure there's no. That's just my impressions, I guess. I guess I follow some people who don't, you know, are like not. I follow some streamers who are like non-English speaking. What the fuck is that? And I feel like I've seen a lot of them like grow their streams a lot more compared to like some English speaking streamers that I follow. Bro, what is going on here? He's aura farming. Oh no, 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 no. Guys, I think I'm gonna die. I should not have came over here. Oh. Why did I come back here, bro? What am I doing, dude? I thought it was, I don't know. I thought because I killed other guys, it was fine. Oh, I'm not throwing, dude. I just thought I could, I don't know, chat. Yeah, that was fucking stupid. I'm not baiting. I don't know. I thought I had enough time to fucking loot the chest. Porn acting, bro, shut the fuck up. I don't know, man. The moment I went back there, I don't know. I thought because I killed the beast and the hunter that it would have been fine, but I forgot there's that fucking caster just like blasting my ass. Died for nothing. I did not do that on purpose. I genuinely just, I don't know, it was overconfidence again. Like, I did not want to die there. But I know that was really fucking stupid, and it seemed like I basically did want to die, but I really just didn't think... I just didn't think it was gonna be that bad. Where's the workshop tool? Oh. I want to see if it's here. I missed a chest. Oh yeah, well normally that chest is like a shitty item, but hold on, I'm gonna loot here. I just want to see if the workshop tool was here. I don't know if this thing actually puts out a log. Oh. Oh, I'm dead. Nothing happened? No, I just want to see if the workshop tool is here. Holy shit, this place is terrible. Would you feel better if it is or isn't? I don't really care, I'm just curious. Oh my. Holy. Wait, is that, can you go out that window there? Oh, I see. Oh, there's actually an item there, though. Oh my god. Is it possible the gem tool is for sale? You don't normally loot the Gascoigne set? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Blood Gem Workshop tool could be... I mean, maybe it could be on the Crystal Lizards, or... maybe you could buy it. I really don't think you can buy it, though, but... Wait a sec, where am I going? Oh wait, no, not up here. I don't know, I can check to see if there's a log. Let me see. I don't think there is. As far as I can tell. Oh, wait, logs don't delete. Let's see. Randomized item log.txt? No, that's not it. Yeah, I don't know if this thing actually... I don't think there's like a cheat sheet for this mod. Watch out, guys. I already fucking died. I already died. I'm not attached to the runs, whatever. I just want to see... I just want to see if the tool is here, which it probably isn't. I guess, yeah, as far as I can tell, this randomizer has absolutely no bias for the Blood Gem Workshop tool, so... You can get it at the fucking start of the game, or you could get it at the end. I don't think the Chalice dungeons are... The key items aren't even randomized in this. Just the workshop tools, which is an option that you could turn off or on. The randomizer is random. Yeah, well... That's true. It's just a lot of the time randomizers will have bias to put certain things earlier, potentially. But most of the time, if there is a bias, they will tell you about it. You can get the modified weapons outside the Chalice dungeon. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's like a... I mean, I don't know. I don't know how this fucking randomizer was made. It's possible they're in the Chalice dungeons. I kind of doubt it, but maybe. I think it's very unlikely, though. What now? Well, now our run is dead. And I'm gonna go cry. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's, it's unfortunate. Gas fine. Wait, will he have phase 2? I wonder. I mean, he might go phase. He might. He took out the axe. I hate that thrusting attack so much. Spamming the jump. This is fucking awful. Go for the backstab. Doesn't seem like he's gonna go into beast form. So this is still the crown.
I claim no subjects.
Alright, this is normally a key item though, so I guess it's probably always the same here in the rando. Yeah. Alright. Well, rip run, guys. Wait, do we have poison throwing knives?
How sad this is. If only our life was so easily forfeit.
Why rip run? Well, I died. Off she goes. Man, we had a good run going. I don't know. That death was so stupid. That was totally my fault. I don't know. I just got... It's funny too, because I literally escaped death and then I went back to where I escaped death. Like, I don't, that was so fucking stupid. Whatever. Yeah, the chest could have had my workshop tool. I didn't want to kill that fucking giant snake. They're so annoying to kill. Because you can't really, like, hit them without them hitting you. A lot of the time. And that guy, I don't know. It was just greedy. Was greedy. Hey, Sky Eclipse, thank you for the 44 months. Well, yeah, dying is definitely worse than killing the snake. But again, you know. That was kind of my thought process. I don't know. I just didn't think I was... I thought I would be alright. Yeah, double fucking snake enemy with a caster in the back. Destroying me was not good. The rando's memory issues fixed? Pretty much, yeah. We have only crashed one time in like 9 hours of gameplay. Well, there's been a few more crashes, but we've only crashed one time because of the randomizer anyways. Yeah, it's been really good. It's been good. Hey, Cardboard Lou, thank you for the 11 months. What to do now? That is the question. Should we do some Nioh 3? I kind of want to try Dark Souls 1 Permadeath Rando as well, but I don't have it set up. I don't really know like what settings to use and stuff.
Oh, majestic!
Oh no, Leppa's not streaming anymore. Did he, I guess he stopped streaming after he threw up. I don't know, somebody said he did. Yo, Super Jew, thank you for the 7 months. Thank you, man. Yo, Nide, thank you for the 50 months. Thank you, dude. I don't know if I want to try another Bloodborne run right now. I do kind of want to just play Nioh and just chill for a bit. The permadeath is a little stressful. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I feel like Bloodborne Rando isn't as fun for me as like Dark Souls 2 was, just because Dark Souls 2 had so many, like, I don't know, Dark Souls 2 has so many different weapons and rings and just like useful items that you can find. And there's like 40 different key items in DS2, so it's just like looting. I mean, currently right now, I have to loot the entire map to find one item in the Bloodborne Rando. Which is like, at least if there was key item rando, it would feel a bit better. Because like you're actually finding things to help you progress. But, you know, and currently the only item I really need to find is the workshop tool. Use what you get. The thing is, use what you get doesn't really work for Bloodborne. Like you can change your weapon, but it's not like the armor has any impact at all. Just cheat this item for yourself. Well, I mean, I could make it so the Bloodborne or the Blood Gem workshop tool is in the same place every time, but then I would just run through the entire game and I wouldn't loot anything. Well, I mean, that's not completely true. I would get my weapon maxed and then I would stop looting and just rush the bosses, I think.